Okay, so I'm going to have to do this quick because I got 20,000 things to do today. Okay, so we're supposed to do this yesterday, didn't get to it. Let's see, yesterday was it 86? Samuel 1 through 3. Now this is talking about, let me hurry up here. Elkanah and his family at Shiloh, there was a man, okay. Let's see, okay, so there was a man who had 2 wives. Again, men are allowed to have more than 1 wife. Women are not allowed to have more than 1 husband. Men are allowed to tour around all they want. Women are not. They're to be murdered if they did have sex outside of marriage. Anyways, he had 2 wives. One was Hannah and one was Peninnah. Of course, the one with the more white name is the favored one. Do you notice this? If this isn't revisionist history, I don't know what is. Anyway, so Peninnah had children, Hannah didn't, and of course, as we know, women back then are prized for their virginity and their male childbearing ways, so Hannah felt like she was nothing because she didn't have children. Now when it says she didn't have children, I'm kind of wondering if it was she just didn't have male children. Because if you notice, when women beg God so that they can have children, they either beg God for a son. And of course God always delivers a son. He never delivers a woman, a female, a daughter. You know what I'm saying? It's always, yeah, I'll give you children, and they're male. You know, it's never like, oh, thank God I had a female child. Anyway, so supposedly she was barren. Peninnah would supposedly make fun of her, whatever. But Hannah's husband favored Hannah over Peninnah, and so there was no issues there. But I hope you can hear me. But Hannah still wanted a son. And so she begged the Lord, please give me a son. And the Lord acquiesced. And she had well, here's the gig though. She had a son, but she said, if I get a son, I'll dedicate him to you. Now, here again, you're wondering, does dedicate mean sacrifice? Or what does that even mean? So anyways, we find out in her case, it means that that she's going to give him to the priest, and he'd be part of the priesthood. And so it says in this verse, or in this chapter, it says, as soon as he got weaned. Now remember, and so you're kind of wondering, okay, once he gets weaned, you're going to give him to the Lord. You know, what's the point of having a son anyways? You know, you've given your uterus and, you know, your prolapse and your hemorrhoids and all that, perineum tearing, to have a son that's not even going to live with you. Anyways, but remember back then that, hopefully you can hear me. Remember that, I'll put the camera closer. Remember that weaning back then, they didn't wean till they were probably like 3 or 4 years old. So anyways, after that, after she weaned him, she sent him off to the priesthood. And then this is a story where there was some shady business going on. let me see, there was some shady business going on in there. I can't remember exactly what it was. But Eli was the priest, and his sons, along with Samuel, that's what Hannah called her son, Samuel. Eli had his sons. I don't know if it even said how many there was, but they were taking more than the required amount. Remember how I said this is just a cult and the priests get to benefit? And even if they weren't meant to benefit as much as they do, it's inevitably going to lead to that, a Jim Jones situation. But where they're getting, the priest is getting, even though he's not getting a lot, he's getting a lot better than, he's living a lot better than most of the people that are coming and giving the offerings. And so, and that was true with Jim Jones. He had an air conditioner in his little hut in, where was that? In South America, Latin America, Guyana. And, even though it wasn't great, it was a lot better than the other people who were, sweltering in the heat and had to work all day. He didn't have to work all day. He was just doing dope, and he had soda pop, and they weren't allowed soda pop, and all that stuff. So anyways, this is what it inevitably leads to some degree. This is always going to be what it's going to be. And so anyways, the Lord condemned Levi's sons for that. I don't know. Knowing God, they probably were killed. I don't remember what the punishment was. But Samuel was too young to engage in this activity, even though he was doing the priestly stuff already. He was too young to be engaged in the embezzlement. And so the Lord spared Samuel, and then it says, this was the part of the story, the famous story that the preachers are always preach about, Samuel being called by God in the middle of the night. I think it was the middle of the night. And he kept going to Eli saying, please tell me what you want. I heard you call me. Finally on the third time, Samuel says, nope, it's got to be God. So you ask him what he wants when you, next time you hear your name being called, say, God, what can you, I hear you, God, blah, blah, blah. So, I don't remember what, speak for your servant is listening. Okay, let me see. I am about to do something in Israel that will cause the ears of everyone to hear, who hears to ring. On the day I will carry out a full against Eli, everything I threatened against his family, I announce to him that I am condemning his family, blah, blah, blah. So in other words, that's recompense for the horrid evil of the priests overtaking, taking more than what they should in the, what do you call it? While they're taking more of the sacrifice, the better part of the sacrifice than they should, when the people came to give sacrifices to the Lord. And when God says he's going to avenge, that means he's going to genocide. He's going to genocide, your whole family. And he's going to kill all your friends. So it's going to be genocide plus. So God, yeah, he's a jealous God. He's a bitter God. He's an angry God. I don't know why anybody would want to worship that God, but hey, that's up to you. Okay, so done here.